A mixed bag of weather today. Windy with showers in the north, fine with sunny spells in the south. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain. Good morning to you. Before we move on with the weather for the next few days in February, let's look back at what happened in January. Now, the stats are in from the Met Office, and actually, it was a contrasting month. We started with the bitterly cold conditions, but lots of sunshine, and then the last end of it was mild, wet and windy. So actually, overall, it means that an average amount of rainfall, average amount of sunshine, and slightly warmer than average. But if you go down into the detail, that's what's interesting. Another month above average temperatures. Last year, the UK saw the warmest year we've ever recorded. The warming trend continues with climate change. But the highest temperature and the lowest temperature were both in Scotland in the mild period and in that bitterly cold period. If we look at our rainfall, it was just a little above average, just around 3% overall. The north was below average, actually, and it was the south that was above average. But it was sunshine that was the standout one. Surprisingly, it was the third sunniest January the UK has ever recorded and the second sunniest for England. Some northeastern parts of England actually had their sunniest on record. And we continue the theme with some sunshine and also largely mild. Here's the details. Yes, the mixed bag, a divided outlook is how we are at the moment. Rain through northern areas, some sunny spells, particularly in the south, but a windy day ahead. First thing this morning, though, it is mild, thanks to cloudy skies greeting us. 7 to 9 degrees, our starting temperature. Good morning to you. Today's weather is pretty much a repeat performance of where we were yesterday. Weather fronts close to the north bring rain. They try to make progress through the coming days, but high pressure, which acts like a force field, does its very best to keep them away. But is later on today. So let's take a look at how things change as we head through the next 7 days. So first of all, we look at Scotland, Northern Ireland and northern areas of England. And we saw earlier on the pressure chart, a change in wind direction means a change in temperatures, a change in air mass through the next 7 days. So we start off mild through the next few days, but a noticeable drop in temperatures as we head into next week. It also means a change in type of weather as well. Percentage chance of rainfall high for the next few days, heaviest rain through the northwest highlands, but then a drop in our rainfall as it turns dry with the colder weather returning as we head into next week. Fortunes further south for England and Wales for the next 7 days. Similar fortunes here. Temperature-wise, we're above average with our mild southwesterly flow, but as we head into next week, the cold easterly wind will set in and it means tumbling temperatures. Percentage chance of rainfall, well, throughout with high pressure close by. The outlet remains largely dry, so fine, sunny, but cold weather on the way into next week. Good morning to you. It is a mild start to the day and a fairly cloudy one as well. Windy conditions, particularly for northern areas, where we also have some rain. So here's the detail. Cloudy skies mean we keep in the heat that we gained yesterday. It stops it escaping, and that's why it's so mild. 7 to 9 degrees our starting temperature. Welcome back to Good Morning Britain. Today's weather, a repeat of yesterday for many of us, actually. It's fairly cloudy. We have weather fronts in the north bringing rain, but the outlook is the weather fronts trying their hardest to move in and bring this cloud, wind and rain. But high pressure. Good morning to you. It is a mild, cloudy start to the day for many of us, but turning fairly wet and windy across the north. Weather fronts making their progress, trying to, but they're halted by high pressure that sits further south, and that keeps the weather here relatively dry and settled through the coming days. But heavy rain for the northwest of Scotland heads its way to the Northern Isles. Windy conditions from the southwest keep it mild, but also keep it cloudy. Western coast and hills with this onshore flow, overcast, grey, damp and drizzly, best of any brightness in the east, and another mild day ahead, highs of 12 or 13, but a windy one too. Gusty winds from the west and particularly gusty to the east of high ground. Tonight we keep the cloud, we keep the breeze, and it stays mild. 6 to 9 degrees our starting temperatures, but tomorrow again largely fine and dry with some decent spells of sunshine.